Hello, Divine Sunshine. This is Divine Sunshine. I know it's been a while. However, I got a belch. Excuse me. I feel like it. I thought I had. Oh, excuse me. I felt it. I was like, excuse me. I got a belch. And release it. I just been off kind of this wire, pretty much, kind of like taking in the scenery of the 3D and kind of dealing with things with myself. The holidays coming up. Um, Missing with dad, deal with mom, take care of business with this state thing that's still ongoing. And so that's kind of like we had put a hold and then with the things with the job. So I had to kind of like stop there and I said, well, let me deal with this 3D stuff because this 3D stuff is kind of really getting my attention very strongly. And so I was like, I got to kind of deal with that. And most of the time when I get from one of my clients or somebody, you all write me a message or something that usually signals for me to come back from being in the 3D and to come back. If you're in the Matrix, you talk from the Nebuchadnezzar and bring myself back down to or from Zion and bring myself back down to earth and really deal with this situation and helping you all out while I was up there trying to down here in the 3D trying to help out myself with the family issues. So with that, I'm here to just do a quickie, and I mean a quickie because I got to kind of go back into the matrix and go back into some things again with that. Helping out with the DM and myself and with work situation. So I'm gonna start off with the reading. Some very good cards. I already pre-shuffled them and had them out here. Again, I am an intuitive life coach. In case maybe I didn't say that, and I am here to give you the keys to union, which means keep energizing yourself into union. And so that is my gift, is to be able to look at the cards and to be able to read them intuitively to kind of give you some things to look out for as well. So this current energies that I'm tapping into is with the divine feminine. Your thing is that you want to release your ex, which is the time has come to clear your energies. Okay, so if you're doing some energy chakra work or something like that, I would say definitely get onto a program that will help you to clear your chakras. Or really, right now at this time, you're really clearing your mind. I would say one way of it. Yeah, I'm on a new level. Let it go. I'm on a new level. Well, that's the that's the DM's notification, but okay. Thank you. So the universe has gave us confirmation that we are on a new level. Okay. I was about to say one way of able to clear those energies here, I pick up to do some journaling, to be able to cross those things out. Right now, you're at a point that you kind of a little burdened down. I would say with this new moon that's coming here, it's going to help to give you new knowledge about something's going on as well. So yeah, that'll be great. How this DM here. And so that will be able to help clear what energies that's actually going on through writing, to release that. So I would say do a lot of journaling, okay, as far as that divine feminine. Because right now, look at your wings kind of look, they're not as bright. And some of you all, this is like for the general reading. Some of you all might be a kind of a little weary, a little burdened by some of the things that's going on. Maybe from even all this clearing, like I am doing. It's like, I am clearing, damn it. It's just like, how much more? And so, still doing that inner work. And it's kind of tiring if you're doing some of that inner child clearing and things of that nature. Making sure that you're journaling. I told you I was doing a journal that I forgot what it's called. That it was like a thing that helps you to kind of release things, and it's got different activities in it. And I talked about that earlier one time on the video as well. While you're releasing this is going to help you to get some messages. Okay, so you're clearing out that maybe that third eye, your crown chakra, and maybe even your throat, your bridge chakra, so you could be able to receive, and your heart to be received some messages. These messages are going to be different. It might not be the regular number sequences 111, 222, 333. Might be driving and you might say, oh, I don't usually get messages on the side of trucks, and the truck might say something, or somebody might say something to you, and that's going to bring you a whole new perspective to what's going on to your situation. So when you're releasing that, that's going to help you to get new downloads, new information put into you. So that's why you got to release these things that are burdening you as well. One thing that's in your shadows that you're hiding at this point, Divine Feminine, is downcast pride. I think we talked about that before, and I can't remember. This card here, something about this, I cannot remember its information to save my life. So downcast lies means bending to adapt because an excuse for the habit of bending. Okay, so like you find yourself bending and coming up with excuses like, no, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and do this for them because they really need the money. And you really saying that yourself, I really ain't got the money to kind of give you. But I want to kind of bend myself to go on ahead and make this kind of semi happen for you. But at the same time, I know I shouldn't be doing that. So you're bending and making excuses about you bending because you're like, well, they really need it. And you like, and somebody said, now, if I was you in that situation, I wouldn't even be thinking about giving that person anything because you already in a bad position yourself. So that's one way of looking at it. So the eyes dark with dried blood tears look downwards. The face of a dark-skinned, beautiful elf with gold laurels among her hair is stern and motionless. Roots plunge into her body from a golden collar. The sky behind her is gray as concrete. The root of sadness and grief is deeper than the skin. The only delusion is the gray skies. Survival is a direct consequence of adaptation. What we call adaptation is not the result of a subtle but constantly constructed change of ourselves, but rather a mockery of it, as we strip day by day of our dignity in order to avoid conflict with a world that would spread us apart. How can we endure this? Maybe through the power of responsibility or through a hidden core of identity. Sometimes we don't use the best part of us, but rather we draw from the ugliest. We survive and bend our knees because we draw out from our laziness, fear, and disgust. We let our deepest roots go dry and replaced by what can only be called a surge of lack of self-esteem. We are diluted when we think that we are only sacrificing our pride. We cling to vanity, but we can't afford dignity. Isn't it sad? Honestly, the true delusion is our faith in fall and winter, while we discard spring and summer as fairy tales. The sky can change color too. As long as we sometimes look up, we can notice. So really in this thing, we're surviving and we're adapting to things, but it seems like we're doing it in a wrong way. And we're constructing and we're coming up with excuses to these changes, but we're not doing it in a manner that's helping to build us up. We're lacking self-esteem, and that's why we're feeling like we're burdened too as well. Like I'm good, and really, like they said on Facebook, sometimes the strongest people, you need to check in on them because they're not all right. So you got this pride going on, this ego thing, but really, to tell you the truth, everything is not okay. So almost like Michael Jackson, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? And Annie wanted to say, no, the hell no, I'm not okay. So this is something that we're dealing with. We're kind of giving off this kind of outside facade, like everything is copacetic, and it's not. So what things we need to surrender? We need to surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Okay, so really this here, she's naked, which means you just really truly being vulnerable. Oh, I forgot about that. I heard him saying nasty cards. I get them. really going with the flow of things and just really going with the swing of life, going back and forth. Even if the current takes you back, you know you're going to make your way and going forward in things. That's one thing. Also, in order for us to get there, we need to tap into our divinity. And our divinity is saying goddess of love. Which to me, I think about is just really, we talk about this flow. And I think about April Williams, and she's doing all these goddess exercises where we actually moving and swaying and moving our body. Which to me is like being okay with the skin that you're in, what way you're showing up for life. And how to be able to make those moves and that sensual movements as well through life. She's got some things covered up. You got to get grounded in this thing called love. So in your emotions as far as love, how you can become grounded with that, and how you're dealing with things of matters of the heart. So I'll say heart and root chakra, those things. And she's got the crown there as well. Those are 3 areas that I would say. Oh, and the throat. So you got a lot of areas, the crown. So all these things is going to help you to ground and get into love. So, you know, the heart helps to manifest. And you got the bridge, which is helping to also help manifestation of things as well, as far as even in your crown. She's almost got the 3rd eye too. So you got really all the main things that help you to manifestation for, to me, would be for union as far as love of self. So start with self first. This is in your emotions. And work your way from that point on, and work with these chakras. As we talk about clearing of energies, these will be the ones: the crown, the 3rd eye, the bridge, which is the throat chakra, the heart, and the root chakra as well. You could say the sacral a little bit, but she's kind of a little more. Okay, thank you, Ralphie. Ralphie said yes, work with the sacral as well. So especially when we're trying to do connections with others. So yes, we would definitely work with that too. Why we got to work with this goddess of love and being really rooted and grounded in our emotions when it comes to love is because we're helping to heal the past. Okay. And when you say healer of the ages, I think about we're becoming more Christ-like. We're becoming more like the light worker. To be Jesus was the ultimate light worker. He showed the shine the light within himself, healed those things that needed to be fixed, and then from those lessons that he thinks that he had learned and he had got downloads and had act as a channel to get the messages from the powers that be, or the from the universe, or from his God, as he stated, he was able to bring those things forth into and teach other people. And you know, that's pretty much, I hear Sophia Charles talking later here lately, that's really our charge, is that we first shine a light on ourselves. So you take it like the flashlight, say flashlight, do. So you flashing on a neon light, so you flashing on your, say spotlight, so you shining on yourself. And then you take that light, because you learn different things that you should do or should not do on this journey, so you can be able to flash the light and show other people. Okay, so again, like I say, this card, here's the journey. Again, here she is, the light. To me, in some ways, I'm looking at this. She's got her bag packed, and she's moving in a certain direction. Bag lady, you gonna miss your bus, dragging all those bags like that. So you got that. So you had bags there. Some ways I'm looking at this, she look like I got the light now, and it's like a person saying, you know, like they say, drop the mic. She's dropping the mic on that. That's the end of that. I'm picking my direction that I'm going, and I'm trailing the blaze as far as light as to where I'm going. So I'm taking the journey. This is the same thing that you have to do. So when you choose love, that's going to give you the power to leave those bags behind, drop the mic, say that's the end of this show, and then go on ahead and trail and follow the light, because this is enlightenment to give you the direction in which you need to go at next. Okay, you need to right now also, what's your life changes is here that's occurring for you now. It's just getting the motivation as to really take on this journey, make this commitment to be with your divine counterpart, get into your high heart, motivation to create this transformation that's needed in order for you to get into union with this sacred, which is this is intimacy, how you connecting not only with yourself, not only with your divine counterpart, but how you're also connecting with others. Okay, all right there. So next, for the divine masculine, he has trust. Okay, this is it. Learning how to trust. So this situation is calling for you to have faith. So whatever situation that is in, if it's third party, or karmic situations, person, place, or thing, these things is requiring him to have trust. I think pretty much in the divine masculine's mind, he thinking that when I see this, I always think about that he's scared that he might do something to hurt the divine feminine, which is going to stab her in her back. And she seems like she says when he looks to her, she looks like she's so vulnerable. She wears her heart on her sleeve. And, he doesn't know that, hey, she's divinely protected with the angels. The angels always give her direction. I think with this bow and arrow, as to who her target is, who she needs to be with, which would be the divine masculine here. He doesn't have his full-fledged armor on, which lets you know that he's not blocking his emotions that much, but he does let you know that, hey, I didn't serve some tours of duty as far as on this military thing. Say, I'm a soldier on the battlefield, and I'm fighting for the Lord. So that kind of way. So he's been fighting out there, fighting for just the justice, fighting for him being with his divine counterpart. So these things have been going on. While he's learning how to trust himself emotionally, maybe even also I look at this card, I get the fork in the road, where he's saying even in my emotions, I feel like I wear my heart on my sleeve. And the way I think analytically, I can't trust myself because I think in some ways in my emotions, I'm going to betray my own emotions, the way I feel about certain things. However, all through this trust process, he's learning how to unearth some things, how to discover some things within himself. He's taking this time learning about his emotions and how to kind of take some of these things as far as out of this treasure chest. And he's really found out this treasure chest is him. And he's like, oh my God, I didn't know I had all these different things, these powers and things about myself. Why he's going through this process of learning how to trust. Okay. One thing that he has here, we have again, is the black flower fragrance. What he's hiding in the shadows is just really trying to learn it all with all these ugly things that have happened and that occurred in his life, is that, even out of the darkest things or the ugliest things, there is beauty. This is a black flower. I seen they say it's almost like it's an obsidian charge that's coming out of it. And I remember the Jupiter 11:11 talking about obsidian. Obsidian is one of the most powerful things that help to protect those who have psychic powers. And so he doesn't know that even while he's going through all these situations, that he is still divinely protected. I'd seen that on one video. They were saying even the higher self is not going to allow him to do anything that's going to make him self-destruct. So even in his emotions, maybe he does feel like in some ways I picked up, he said it's going to betray him because he feels like he's very vulnerable. He's always wearing his heart on his sleeve. And that's why he kind of got to put up that persona like, I'm a man, I'm a macho, like macho man. So he's a macho man and he feels like he got to portray this certain kind of way to the public. But in the emotions, he's got to find out those things that he feels is very ugly about himself. It was a song. It's just the ugly part of me, something like that. And so she is a young lady that sing. I think her name is Avery Sunshine, and she talks about it just being the ugly part of her. And so, taking those ugly parts and being able to see what makes it beautiful, okay, about himself. That's one thing. Also, he needs to surrender the divine masculine. You need to surrender the habit of people pleasing. This is speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. Because a lot of times when you try to make everybody else happy, you like the song, don't worry, be happy. So you're doing a lot of worrying. So don't worry, be happy. So you're doing a lot of worrying by you're doing the opposite, which is producing more things that happen and occur from you being in this low vibration. So again, they go to get two friends and they go and get two friends and then so on. And before you know, you got a gang of negativity that went and got all this negativity stuff and talk about, yeah, we brought it here, you know, how you like it? And you're like, what's happening? Like, back the truck up, back the truck up. It's like, what the heck they about to do? They about to dump all that negativity on your front yard because of all this stuff that you then kind of went out there and attracted to you from all this negative thinking, divine masculine. And so again, by you people pleasing, you worrying about how these people are going to react if you don't do anything, or if you do use the power. No, this is causing the issue for a lot of other problems to kind of show up on your doorstep. Okay, so focus on your happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. Then put your needs first. And a lot of times, this is how sometimes the divine masculine or anybody that's in, or divine feminine in these karmic or third party situations kind of find themselves being in those situations, because a lot of times they're trying to please family and friends, listen to what they say, and then they find themselves, when it comes to their feelings, they didn't put it off on the shelf somewhere, and they didn't really tend to their own needs. Okay, so now at this point, you're in your divinity, you got to really become a god of protection. That means in your thinking, you got to be very protective of your feelings, your needs, your desires, and your wants at this time. You got a staff here with a moon. Now it's interesting, it's got this moon at the end of the staff, and I want to say really in some ways that this is representing, I think that this new moon that's coming in Sagittarius, which would be the 26th, which would probably be tomorrow, is really bringing this newness. And I think I heard that in somebody else is saying there's a new opportunity being presented where you can create a new version of yourself. So new things, it's a new beginning that's coming up here. Learn how to protect this new beginning and put on a beginning that you want to see happen and occur. This is the reason why this is happening. I got this clarified by a woman holding the coin. I think emotionally you're thinking about how you want to create and manifest this abundance. You want to be able to hold that prosperity very steady, very firmly, grasp that abundance in your hands, and be able to know how to handle it from this point on. You got the black cat here, which to me represents a lot of superstitions there in your thinking. You want to get also a handle of how you thinking, because the way you think and your emotions, those two together give birth to a manifestation of something. If it's in the negative, that's going to also occur. So you, a lot of times you think a certain way. If I do this certain thing, this is going to happen. If I do this certain thing, this is going to happen. That's kind of like a superstition. If I let a black cat cross me, then that. Or like I told one in my reading I had did tonight, I told a young lady, I said that, you know, we used to say when we were walking down the streets in the city of Chicago when we were small, if you stepped on the crack, you broke your mama's back, you know. Had things, so confirmation. So a lot of times, you know, that thinking. So you always try to divert going down the street, not stepping on the crack. You're like, what? You know, because that's just how we was thinking. Not, okay, step on you, stopping people and all that stuff. And so, you know, a lot of times that was kind of silly. That kind of like slowed you down from you actually getting to where you needed to go to, because you sitting up there talking about as a child, I'm not going to step on you, jumping and doing everything like that. So again, the way you think it sometimes acts as a deter, or it acts as a roadblock to actually getting to where you need to. Okay, so I see a lot of purple. So again, that would be a lot of third eye chakra thing. And I see orange that she's sitting on, which is intimacy. This also could be represented. I see a fork of the road. Learn how to protect your divine feminine, because she is the leader. Your vision of how you being with her, and she's being the holder of your abundance as well. Learn how to be very, like he's there, like he's like, I dare you to mess with that. Be very protective of the dream. Be very protective of the vision, of the journey of you being back or being with your divine feminine. At this point, is saying that what needs to change is parental care, which parental care to me is how do you nurture yourself. Okay, so you're nurturing yourself as you're going through this process of transformation. I see two butterflies here, so that would mean transformation in several ways. You are transforming, and your divine counterpart is transforming as well into something different. This can also say in body and in spirit, two ways. It looks like ascending, as you're ascending to another form of who you are. This is yellow in your solar plexus, which means standing in your power, making things happen, how you in your authority, how you get things pushing and moving. This is I think I seen somebody say solar plexus was a chakra of action. How you forward moving, how you're nurturing yourself as you make it each step as you go along the way. And you got purple here, which is again the third eye, which is the overseer of all chakras. How you lining up and clearing. You're almost like you, again, we're mirroring each other. The divine feminine's got to clear some of those energies, which I say will be the chakra. And you at two has to get in tune and focus in as far as in your thinking, is clearing up all of those the chakras there, because that's the overseer, and getting those things in alignment as well, so you could be able to stand into your authority as to who you are. Okay, so those are the things there. And then before I wanted to get into that, just a little snippet, I want to talk about that some things that I have learned while I had been off. Some things, the channel message that came to me is one thing I know with dealing with the DM is a lot of times as divine feminines, we have a problem with being able to receive. That doesn't matter who it comes from, family members, people, whether it's receiving compliments. We always say, oh, this old thing, oh no, my hair, it's about time for me to get it done. We don't receive things. One thing that came to me as well is that when we on this journey, we have a tendency to not be able to receive unconditional love from the divine masculine. And what I mean is that we're always pinning and putting him in a certain way of how he's supposed to be expressing. Even if they're in third party situations and karmic situations, it's a lot. We know we've always, I hear popping, so that's the divine masculine say true. A lot of times we're always pushed to be able to accept them through and love them unconditionally. But we don't even think about like the way in which they show love back into us in return, in their little ways or whatever kind of ways that they express it. It's a two-way street. We're giving them unconditional love, and we got to be able to receive the unconditional love that we have from them in the way that they express it, physically, physically, spiritually. We've got to be open and receptive to that. And that's a big thing that I've been working with my DM now at this point. Just really trying to understand, to forgive. Really trying to understand that we've got to, at this point, we've got to really truly do the work. We've got to stop saying, and thinking that it's more so about our divine counterparts got to be fixed. We got to really truly, and I say this all the time on my channel, you've got to be honest about what are some like this. Is just the ugly part of me. What is that ugly part of you that you really are not liking? That shadow, those things that you got to really work with. Because if you had totally worked on it, let's be honest, he will be in the physical. You all will have physical union. We already have union, period, where we are now in our relationships because we're connected. We are one. There is no separations of between the divine masculine and ours. And we have that heart connection. We can tell right now if they're happy, they're sad. We're in union. We're connected. We're looking for the next stage. Some of us is that which is called that physical union. Okay, which is we're asking for that to happen. And a lot of times, again, what's stopping us again is those inner childhood wounds that we need to work on, and those things that even as adult we have to. I've known this even here lately. I've found using parenting, learning how to redo what's happening with the parent that has been programmed from my mother or my father. I say more so my mother. Doing that, we have to remember again that when we have our parents in some ways had given us what they thought was their truths, and their energies. In some ways they pass that on to us, which has caused us to kind of go off of their templates or go off of their energies to know how to react and act on things from what our parents have told us. And those things, I think Sophia Charles the one say our parents do lie, which is true. They do, because sometimes it's unintentional, sometimes it isn't. It's intentional. I know that from even the classroom, because we want our children to go a certain way, or they want them to not to experience something, or we call it self-protecting or shielding them. But at the same time, sometimes that child picks up that information and takes that off as the gospel truth and doesn't hear anything else. And you now at this point have got to go back to reprogram yourself and become that parent to say, no, little divine sunshine, that is not how life really is. We know that from our adult experiences, that what mom thought was good for her and her generation is not good now, or whatever was taught and told her, this is not going to fit. It doesn't work for the journey that I'm on now. I said that before. And so I like to piggyback on what Sophia Charles has stated, is that we got to kind of really look at those things and saying about what things that as an adult we got to reparent ourselves. And I told you that from some of my webinars there, that we've got to learn how to use reparenting and self-compassion, just like what we was said earlier in the reading, to be able to retrain ourselves to say, yes, we do deserve love. Yes, to have union with ourselves, because that's the very first thing that we should be aiming for right now on this journey, is to have union with self, and then it will overflow into union with your divine masculine. But if you don't see, like I said again, a good judge of assessment and gauge if you are doing the work is when you see your divine masculine. If he's making shifts and movement and he's more open, then guess what that means on your end? You're doing the work and you've opened up something on your end. That's the only true litmus test or true serum or true test to tell about as far as your validity and reliability and trustworthiness on what you are actually doing as far as the work. I thought I'd bring that up to you. Before I read the last two cards, which is what is the divine feminine want to say the divine masculine, what the divine masculine want to say the divine feminine. Again, my course, which will be on the last one of my series of Healing the Inner Child, will be on December the 3rd. That one would be on not abandonment. Oh, Lord have mercy. The last one. Where's my phone at? Why did I forget it just that quick? Hold on a second. There you go. Did you make? Yeah. Let's see that one. I know on top of my head, because I'm like, okay, is this the one? Rejection. Thank you. Last one will be on rejection. Okay, so that would be okay. Thank you for the confirmation, Ralphie. That would be at 11:20 Central Time is when that will be. That's December the 3rd. That's the last one on my series. This has been very beneficial to a lot of people that's been in there, especially in the Sunshine Lounge, because I've had Kathy D in there helping along with Jupiter 1111. Kathy D is a licensed, a certified rather, behavior or cognitive behavior counselor, and I'm missing something else because it's late. Excuse me. And then it's yeah, thank you. And she specializes in abuse and any kind of violence that happened as well. So she's very good a counselor. I call her, she's my David, as Sophia Charles says. She has her guy. I got Kathy D. She's my David. We will be coming out with a package. I know we said we was going to do that for Black Friday. That will be let's see, 35. So it will be a package that will feature myself giving you a workbook and a 30-minute reading session and know what your blocks are as far as you in your childhood wounds. It's called the playground. And then I'll have Kathy D will give you an hour counseling session. And then I have April Williams who will give you also a 30-minute energy clearing. Again, she specializes in, I call it really clearing you out and getting you grounded with the earth. And her thing, I call it really a goddess clearing that she does to help you to get on track as well. So she's got some really fun things that she's going to do. And so we're going to get that together. We're going to try to premiere that. It's on my end. I got to do for Black Friday. If not, definitely it will be before I do December the 3rd. We will have that package will be on my website, which is divineunisols11.co. Okay, is there anything else? No, those are the two major things. So it's good. Look out for the playground to be featured. 3 things as G, which means the trinity of 3 energies. 3 energies brought together, celestial bodies, bringing brought together as an alignment. So that's part of our production and program that we will be bringing on this channel to help you all to understand. There's going to be some goodies for those of you all that jump on early as well. A lot of freebies that will be given to from Kathy D and from April Williams too. They're going to offer some other freebie things as well. And for me, in the package, I'm offering the workbook free in that. So let's hear from the Divine Feminine, and we're calling it a wrap. So Divine Feminine says to the Divine Masculine, love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. Okay, so Divine Masculine, in your thinking, just remember that love is everywhere. It's expressed in everything. I think about my minister saying on Sunday, he just say just say thank you. Just say thank you. You know, when you look in the morning in the mirror, just say, I am love, Divine Masculine. I am love. You know, feel I am love. Love is flowing to me. I am a love magnet. People love me. People can't get enough of me because they just love me. Love is everywhere. Love is in my wallet. It's in my money. It's in my, so just really, over exaggerated and use like that until the universe say, oh my God, this person, this DM really saying love is everywhere. We got to kind of show this to you. And this people just start coming out the woodwork and just trying to show you and express love to you, okay? That's even in when you're talking about the Divine Feminine, because sometimes Divine Masculines have a way of looking at the Divine Feminine and saying, maybe we kind of exclude it from that as well. Say, no, I am, she is love too. Everything is love. Just have that fluid thing. I know I'm feeling almost like April Williams with that, the movement of that thing. Just everything flows. Everything is part of love. We are love. Almost like that, fun like to say the age of Aquarius. We are the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So all that love and that daisies and sunflowers and all that stuff. Just feel like you in that time period where it's just like, man, it's just groovy. Just everything's just love. I'm just exuding love. Just feel it all in my body. Just love. So, that's what I pictured it, like the Divine Master just running and just seeing hearts like he just high off of love. So that's just that right there. Very white. Play you some love music or something also. I'll say the Divine Feminine, sometimes in the morning there's some nice love to get you in the mood for that, and that kind of sends it through your Divine Master within until it sends it over to him over the rainbow. The Divine Master gets that. And the Divine Master said this, which I thought that this was so just like what I said earlier in my little small fireside chat, that act as if your partner, this is what the Divine Master is saying to you, Divine Feminine, act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. again. So whatever you're doing, just like I feel him like the age of Aquarius, and he's in the middle of that 60s and the flower power. I'm seeing hearts flowing all around him, and he's just like, man, I'm just feeling love. I'm feeling it's just coming off through me. I'm just high off of it. You the same thing, just everything when you're doing, you walking in there, you're talking, you're by yourself, pretending you're the divine masculine is there. You just talking to him, just pretending like he's there, like, oh, I can't wait till I get home, and the divine masculine and I, we can just talk, like he's just actually there. Create those things that though they are, as though they are, they will come into fruition and manifestation. So again, he's telling you, I'm there. Really saying in some ways, divine master say, I am there. There's no separation between you and I. Like I said, there is no spot where the universe and the powers that be and God is not. He's there. The divine masculine is with you. Then I'll stop you from having those separations kind of experiences to come into the 3D, because you're already saying that wherever I am, he is. I think I found myself doing that the other day. I remember I went to a concert to go see Anthony Hamilton the other day with my best friend. And I was finding myself, and I told myself, I'm going to Anthony Hamilton, and always things. I always send him videos, let him know, how the concert went like that. And I was almost finding myself saying, oh, I wish he was with me. And Spirit said, stop it. I heard him say real clear, using his voice, say, stop it. Wherever you are, I am. We both at the concert. So if you there, I'm there, And I can feel that, So some things he was doing with his kids. And I said, oh, I wish I could be there with him. Say, stop that. You are there. Wherever he is, you are. I was like, okay. So that's nice confirmation I see from the cards that they brought that out. That is true. So wherever you are, he is. So just keep on thinking about that. You go out to eat by yourself. Say, I'm not eating by myself. My DM is here. Those things. So that is it. I know it's been a while again. I will see you on December the 3rd. I'd see, maybe I might come back on, I don't know, for over Thanksgiving. But if I do not, I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Those of you all that's in the U.S. or not in the U.S. that don't know about that, just thank you for Thursday. We'll call it Grateful Day, just to be thankful. Just like my minister said, just be thankful for. Find yourself just saying thank you for every little thing. Just saying thank you, thank you. Waking up saying thank you. Don't know why you're saying thank you, but just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. All this week. Like you said, the journal, maybe do a thankful thing, a journal, gratitude journal, because gratitude is the word of the month. I've seen that pop up so many places that, it's been overwhelming. So if nothing else, to have a gratitude journal, do something that you're grateful for, or wake up and just say 3 things again. That changes your brain waves when you do things. Think about at least 3 things that you're grateful or thankful for. So do that. And that will create the atmosphere to shift. Okay, all right, that's it, because I said I really want to be over in 30, but I had slipped in that fireside chat. I had to. So again, until next time, again, happy Thanksgiving, happy grateful week, or to have gratitude week or month. You can span into the end of December, then do that. So until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. Love you.